The Shanghai 2024 major is here, and with the major comes the major pick'ems. So I'm just going to go through my thought process as I'm looking at these matchups, who I think is going to go 3-0, who I think is going to go 0-3, and who is just going to proceed to the next stage. The first team that I have going 3-0 is going to be Liquid, and this is because I think they're going to match up with VP in the 2-0 matchup because their matchups before that seem pretty easy for them. So I think that the 3-0 decider will be Liquid versus VP. But with that being said, this is a close enough matchup that I could give it to VP, I could give it to Liquid. It's really up to you. This is probably one of the only 50-50s in here. With that being said, VP I think will just definitely go through. I'm pretty sure this is just a lock for going through. I don't think they will go 3-0, however. The next team that I think is going to go through is going to be Furia, and the reason why I feel like this is a pretty safe team to put through is because they're going to beat Gamer Legion. Gamer Legion has done a great job at putting together a really good team with very minimal experience, but I do think Furia will end up winning that game. Then they're going to end up playing MIBR, which I feel like they should be MIBR. They play, I don't think, two similar styles of CS, but they just have way more experience. And then after that matchup, they're going to end up playing either Cloud9 or FlyQuest. So out of those matchups, I feel like Furia is a pretty good lock. I think FlyQuest going 0-3 is probably one of the safest picks in here, and historically, it hasn't been. Historically, everyone puts them as 0-3, and they just win one game to ruin everyone's pick'ems. However, I think that this is finally the time that they will go 0-3. They're going to end up messing up my pick'ems, but if there's any safe pick to put 0-3, I will put FlyQuest there. And for the last team that I think is going to go through on this half of the bracket, I'm going to go ahead and go Complexity. I think it could be Complexity. It could also be MIBR. It's really a flip-flop between the two. I don't think Gamer Legion have a great chance. I don't think FlyQuest have a great chance, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and put Complexity through. They aren't in great form, but I feel like they can probably make it through on this one. Now, for the next half of the bracket, the team that I have going 3-0, I think Lightning will strike twice, and Passion will end up going 3-0 again. So their first matchup is against Big, and I think they match up pretty well against Big. Their playstyle is like pretty aggressive. They have some young guns on the team. They're less experienced than Big, but I think that Big play a very normal way of CS, and usually when it's pug team versus structured team, I'm not saying Passion is a pug team, but they play a bit more of a loose style. When you have a loose team versus a very structured team, it usually comes down to a 50-50 or individually who's better, but it really could go either way. So I'm going to put Passion going through, because if Passion beat Big, then they just have to play Wildcard or Fnatic. I think it's going to be Wildcard. I think Wildcard beat Fnatic. Then they're going to have to play Mongols or Pain. And I think Passion just clears either of those teams, at least in the form that they are in. So I'm putting Passion 3-0. I also think that Wildcard will go through, and I'll explain why. If Wildcard beat Fnatic, which I think they will, they're going to match up against Passion. Passion is probably going to beat them, and then they have to play Rare Atom or Imperial or something like that. So I'm going to put Wildcard going through. I just have a feeling I think Wildcard are going to make it. In this same bracket, we have Mongols. Now, if Mongols beat Rare Atom, which I think they will in their matchup, it's going to be Mongols versus Pain. I think Mongols just beats Pain. And then it's probably going to be Mongols versus Passion or Wildcard for the 3-0. I'm going to go ahead and put Mongols. Again, I think that Passion will beat Mongols, but I think Mongols will lose to them and then just play one of the teams that have already been, kicked down in the 1-1 bracket, and Mongols will just clear any of those teams in that bracket. Now, the team that I think will go 0-3 is going to be Rare Atom. I'm not sure if it was last major or the major before that, but I remember they went 0-3 back then, and it looked like a similar kind of bracket where it's like they are probably the least experienced / worst team in the bracket, but I'm just going to go Rare Atom 0-3. I feel like this is pretty safe. And then as far as the last team that's making it through, I think it's safe to put Pain. It's going to be Pain or Big. It's going to be one of the two. I don't think Fnatic is going through. I'm going to put Pain because Big is zero supremacy. And these are my final pick'ems. I hope you guys know recording this video took me like 40 minutes because I did go through every single matchup, and then I realized my recording software wasn't working. So this is just kind of the TLDR for my opinions on these matchups, but I do really think that this will probably end up giving you a pretty good group stage and setting you up for the elimination and playoff stage. With that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.